Greetings, Seekers, and welcome to the Library of Divine Echoes. I'm your host, Christopher Little, and today we will undertake a rigorous interpretive analysis of Modern Druidry. It is designed not merely as a historical survey, but as an operational manual for the practitioner of the magical arts, ranging from the neophyte witch to the master ceremonial magician. In an era increasingly defined by the mechanization of experience and the digital abstraction of reality, the resurgence of Druidry, often termed the Ancient Green Way, represents a profound counter-movement towards spiritual immanence and ecological reintegration. Our objective is to deconstruct the esoteric, spiritual, divinatory, and hermetic applications of the tradition. By synthesizing the disparate threads of Paleo-pagan reconstruction, Meso-pagan revivalism, and Neo-pagan innovation, this episode outlines a coherent system of practice. It aims to equip the seeker with the spiritual technologies necessary to cultivate a growth mindset, achieve harmony with the three worlds, and empower the self against the anxiety, prada, of modern existence. Modern Druidry is not a relic of the Iron Age, but a living, evolving toolkit. Authenticity in this tradition is derived not from an unbroken lineage to the ancient Celtic priesthood, which historical evidence suggests was severed over a millennium ago, but from the efficacy of its practices in re-enchanting the world and restoring the fractured relationship between humanity and the living earth. The popular cultural image of the Druid is monolithic, the bearded patriarch in white robes conducting solemn rites at Stonehenge. While this image possesses a romantic power that fueled the Druid revival of the 18th and 19th centuries, it obscures the dynamic diversity of the modern tradition. Today's Druidry is a polyphonic spirituality embraced by people of all genders, cultural backgrounds, and religious orientations. Esoterically, a druid is defined by function rather than aesthetic. The word druid itself is believed to derive from the Proto-Indo-European roots deru, oak, steadfast, true, and weed, to see, to know. Thus a druid is one with the wisdom of the oak, or a seer of truth. In the modern context, this translates to a practitioner who actively bridges the chasm between logos, rational, factual knowledge, and mythos, deep, narrative truth. The ancient Celtic social structure provides a template for this modern function. The Druid class, Nimid or Sacred Ones, was not a singular priesthood, but a complex caste of intellectuals and magicians, including the Bard, keepers of memory, song, and creative inspiration, Awin, the Ovate, Vates, seers, healers, and masters of divination and natural philosophy, the Druid, sensu stricto, philosophers, judges, and ritualists who maintained the cosmic law, truth against the world. Modern practitioners often move through these grades as a curriculum of self-development, utilizing the specific magical technologies associated with each to cultivate a holistic spiritual constitution. At the heart of the Druidic worldview lies what Penny Billington refers to as the Big Secret, or Ingredient X. This is the recognition of a magical current of energy emanating from the land itself, a tangible, vibratory force that connects the natural and spiritual worlds. The Druid does not merely worship nature as a passive backdrop, they engage with it as an interconnected web of consciousness, where rocks, trees, and streams are sentient, communicative entities. This animistic perspective is coupled with a growth mindset rooted in the cosmology of the three circles of manifestation. Unlike static models of salvation, Druidic cosmology views existence as a dynamic process of soul evolution through struggle, choice, and expanding awareness. The practitioner utilizes the three rays of nature, knowledge, and devotion to navigate this evolution, transforming anxiety into wisdom and isolation into connection. To practice Druidry effectively, one must understand the map of the territory. The Druidic cosmos is structured around triadic principles, reflecting the Celtic propensity for thinking in threes. The three circles of manifestation. The most profound framework for understanding spiritual growth in Druidry is the cosmology of the three circles. This model, popularized by the revivalist Iolo Morganwg, and integrated into orders like the Ancient Order of Druids in America, AODA, maps the trajectory of the soul from the cauldron of raw matter to the heights of divine communion. 1. The Circle of Necessity, Abred. Inchoate, release. The realm of infinite existence, reincarnation, and struggle. It is the crucible where the soul gathers knowledge through suffering and experience. It explains the necessity of hardship. Challenges are not punishments, but mechanisms for gathering the wisdom required for evolution. This is the realm of probation and freedom of choice. 2. The Circle of Blessedness, Gwynfyd, White World, Bliss. The state of fulfilled potential and conscious immortality, freedom from the cycle of necessity. The goal of the Druidic path, it is not a static heaven, but a dynamic state where the soul co-creates reality with the divine. It represents the mastery of the self. 3. The Circle of Infinity, Cugant, the blank, infinite. The realm of the absolute, unsearchable divine. It is the empty circle that surrounds all others. The realm that can only be occupied by Source, God. It represents the ultimate mystery and the infinite potential that sustains the cosmos. It reminds the practitioner of the limits of human comprehension. Analytical insight. This cosmology offers a robust theological defense for the growth mindset. If one resides in Abred, the struggle is a feature, not a bug. The anxiety, prida, experienced in daily life is the friction generated by the soul's evolution against the resistance of kalos, matter. By accepting this, the practitioner moves from a victim mentality to one of active engagement with their own destiny. The Three Worlds and the Three Realms. While the three circles describe the vertical evolution of the soul, the three worlds describe the horizontal or dimensional structure of the cosmos. 1. The underworld, Anwen, the realm of the ancestors, the dead, and the deep roots. It is associated with the sea, Muir, and the collective unconscious. It is the source of potential and the cauldron of rebirth. 2. The middle world, Abred Bittis, the physical realm of land, Talam, where humans, animals, and plants interact. It is the realm of the present moment and tangible action. 3. The upper world, Gwynfyd, Albios, the realm of the sky, Nim, the gods, and the shining ones. It is the source of inspiration and higher consciousness. The three realms, land, sea, sky. This is the primal Celtic division of the physical universe. In ritual, the Druid acknowledges these realms to ground the ceremony in the physical reality of the planet. Land, stability, memory, the bones of the earth. Sea, fluidity, emotion, the boundary between worlds. Sky, inspiration, intellect, the breath of life. The three elements of Druidic alchemy, Nuivra, Guyar, Kalas. For the Hermetic practitioner, the standard four-element system, earth, air, fire, water, is often supplemented or deepened by the specific Druidic triad of elements. These subtle elements describe the process of manifestation rather than just the material. Nuivra, literally sky or heaven. This is the life force, the spark of consciousness, the chi or prana. It is the element of spirit and mind. In magic, it is the intent or the will. Guyar, literally blood or fluidity. This is the principle of flow, change, and transmutation. It corresponds to the energy that moves systems. In magic, it is the emotional charge or the movement of ritual. Kalas, literally hardness or stone. This is the principle of form, stability, and resistance. It is the vessel that holds the energy. In magic, it is the physical materials, the altar, or the manifestation itself. Application. To manifest a result, a spell, the druid must align these three. A clear intent, nuivra, must be powered by emotional flow, guyar, and grounded in a physical action or object, kalas. If a spell fails, it is usually because one of these legs of the tripod is missing. The nature of Awen. If there is a central deity or force in Druidry, it is Awen. Translated as flowing spirit or poetic inspiration, Awen is the creative, transformative force of the universe. Christopher Hughes defines it as the voice of the universe, the eternal song that sings all things into existence. The symbol of Awen, 3 rays of light descending from 3 points of light, represents the illumination of the soul by the divine. It is the Holy Spirit of the Druidic mysteries, the force that transforms a technician into a magician, a speaker into a bard. The 3 rays of practice. The 3 rays of the Awen symbol correspond to the 3 modes of Druidic engagement. 1. The ray of nature. This is the study of the natural world. It involves the direct sensory engagement with the environment, learning the names of trees, the habitats of animals, and the geology of one's home. It is the path of the naturalist and the scientist. 2. The ray of knowledge. This is the study of the inner worlds, myth, history, and the self. It involves the intellectual pursuit of wisdom, the memorization of lore, like the ancient bards, and the psychological excavation of the unconscious. 3. The ray of devotion. This is the path of the heart. It involves service to the community, the land, and the gods. It transforms the dry knowledge of the other 2 rays into living wisdom through love and compassion. Without the devotional ray, Druidry becomes a sterile intellectual exercise. Modern Druid training is often structured around 3 paths that ensure a balanced development of the practitioner's physical, emotional, and mental bodies. The Earth Path, Roots and Relationship. The Earth Path focuses on nature awareness and ecological stewardship. It challenges the practitioner to break the hallucinatory unreality of industrial culture by re-engaging with the biological reality of the planet. Microcosmic action. The Druid strives to live lightly on the earth. This involves practical lifestyle changes, recycling, reducing consumption, and sourcing food ethically. These are not just political acts, but spiritual disciplines that align the practitioner with the devotional ray. Sacred stewardship. A critical practice is the planting of trees. This act aligns the Druid with long time, the slow, enduring time frame of the forest, countering the frantic pace of modern life. Planting a tree is a ritual of kalas, planting the form, to channel nuivra, life force, for future generations. Bioregionalism. The Druid must become an expert on their local land. A Druid in the Pacific Northwest should know the red cedar and the salmon, just as a British Druid should know the oak and the wren. The Sun Path, the Wheel of the Year. The Sun Path involves the ritual celebration of the seasonal cycles. By observing the 8 stations of the Wheel of the Year, the Druid aligns their internal psyche with the external cosmos. The solar current. The sun is the primary source of spirit above. Its cycle of waxing and waning governs the flow of Druidry into the world. The rituals. The 8 festivals, Samhain, winter solstice, Imbolc, spring equinox, Beltane, summer solstice, Lughnasadh, autumn equinox, act as cosmograms. They allow the practitioner to participate in the cosmic drama, the birth of the sun child, the marriage of the earth and sky, the harvest, and the descent into the underworld. This integrates the cycle of Abred, life, death, and rebirth, into the practitioner's conscious awareness, reducing the fear of change and death. The Moon Path, meditation and the inner grove. The Moon Path focuses on meditation and the development of the inner reality. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun, the mind reflects the light of the spirit. Discursive meditation. Unlike Eastern methods that seek to silence the mind, slaying the slayer, Druidic meditation trains the mind. The practitioner selects a seed thought, a triad, a line of poetry, or a symbol, and explores it actively in the mind, following the chain of associations while maintaining focus. This unpacks the symbol, revealing deep wisdom and training the mental faculties. The inner grove. This is a technique of creating a sanctuary in the imaginal realm. The druid builds a mental construct of a sacred grove, complete with trees, a fire, and a well, where they can retreat for teaching, healing, and magic. This inner grove becomes a stable platform for astral work and a refuge from the chaos of the outer world. Druidry is not merely a philosophy, it is a magical system. The following techniques represent the best practices for the hermetic application of Druidry. The 2 currents and the sphere of protection. Magic requires power. Druidry identifies 2 primary electromagnetic currents that can be manipulated by the mage. The solar current, spirit above, descends from the sun and sky. It is electric, dry, hot, stimulating, and associated with the intellect and masculine polarity. The telluric current, spirit below, rises from the center of the earth. It is magnetic, wet, cool, vitalizing, and associated with instinct, life force, and feminine polarity. The lunar current, spirit within. When these 2 currents are drawn into the human body and balanced, they fuse to create the lunar current. This is the energy of Awen, magic, and healing. The sphere of protection. The SOP is the foundational daily ritual of the AODA, designed to balance these currents and create a thermodynamic seal around the practitioner. It is the druidic equivalent of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, but uses nature imagery. Phase 1, the elemental cross. The practitioner stands facing north or east, visualizing a sphere of golden light above, the sun, and a sphere of green fire below, the earth. They draw the light down and the fire up, crossing them in the body to awaken the spirit within. Phase 2, calling the elements. The practitioner invokes the 4 elements, air, fire, water, earth, at the 4 cardinal directions. Unlike Wicca, which calls elements into the circle, the SOP awakens the elemental forces already present within the practitioner's sphere, balancing the internal elemental makeup. Phase 3, the circulation of light. The ritual concludes by circulating the gathered energy around the aura, sealing it against external crud and preventing the leakage of vital force. The art of enchantment, standing stones and sacred space. Druids are masters of sacred space. The creation of a nematon, sacred grove, is a primary magical act. Erecting the standing stone. A classic operation involves placing a stone, even a small garden stone, to act as an acupuncture needle for the earth. The druid visualizes the solar current striking the stone and being channeled down into the telluric current of the soil. This blesses the land, stimulates plant growth, and creates a zone of high vibration. The Three Hollows. The physical altar typically contains representations of the three portals. The fire, gate to the gods, upper world. The well, gate to the ancestors, underworld. The tree, the axis that connects them. Ogham, the language of the trees. The Ogham alphabet is not just a writing system, but a hermetic categorization of the universe, preserving ancestral tree lore in cryptic sigils. Divination. Ogham staves are used to read the currents of a situation. Spreads like the three Ogham staff, reading roots, trunk, and branches of a problem, or Fion's window, a mandala spread, allowing for complex analysis. Magic. Each few letter acts as a handle for a specific frequency of energy. Baith, birch, used for new beginnings and purification. Louis, rowan, used for protection against hostile magic. Strafe, blackthorn, used for blasting or overcoming major obstacles through necessary destruction. Pathwork. Climbing the world tree is a meditative practice where the druid ascends through the Ogham, Acmes, families, integrating the lessons of the physical, emotional, and spiritual realms. Crane magic and the Caint. The ancient druids practiced Korganekt, crane magic, a technique involving a specific posture, standing on one leg with one eye closed and one arm extended. This stance places the druid between the worlds, neither fully on land nor in the air, neither fully asleep nor awake. It was used for sending focused intention, particularly satire or curses, glam descend, against unjust kings, or conversely, for blessing. The myth of Druidry, transforming anxiety. In the Mabinogion, the figure of Pryderi, whose name means anxiety or care, serves as a psychological archetype for the modern seeker. Born to Rhiannon and Pwyll, his disappearance causes his mother great suffering, and his life is marked by loss and recovery. Christopher Hughes interprets the myth of Pryderi not as a tragedy, but as a map for integrating trauma. Pryder represents the inevitable anxieties of living in Abred. The druid does not seek to bypass anxiety, spiritual bypassing, but to reclaim the lost child of the self. By facing the other world, the unconscious, and recovering Pryderi, the druid transforms debilitating anxiety into care and mindfulness. This shift is the essence of the druidic growth mindset, using the friction of Abred to polish the soul. The triad of foundation. To maintain stability while navigating these deep waters, the druid relies on the triad of foundation. 1. Truth. Speaking truth against the world. This grounds the practitioner in Kalas. 2. Knowledge. continuous study and expanding understanding. This aligns with Nuivra. 3. Love or compassion, the binding force that connects the self to the community. This aligns with Guyar. Without love, knowledge becomes cold and truth becomes brutal. The druid must balance all three. Returning to the trees. The Welsh idiom, to return to my trees, implies returning to a balanced state of mind. For the modern druid, this is a literal prescription. When the digital noise of the modern world fragments the psyche, the druid retreats to the presence of trees, sentinels of long time, to calibrate their internal rhythm. This is the ultimate hermetic application of the Green Way, using the biological field of the forest to regulate the human nervous system. Modern Druidry is a call to action. It asks the practitioner to step out of the role of consumer and into the role of co-creator. By mastering the solar and telluric currents, engaging with the Ogham mysteries, and walking the three paths, the druid becomes an agent of re-enchantment. The druid creates a sacred grove wherever they go, whether in a literal forest or in the heart of a city. They act as a bridge between the worlds, channeling the blessings of the spirit above into the spirit below, healing the land and the self in a single, unified breath. As you integrate these teachings, remember that the path is a spiral, not linear. You will circle back to the same lessons, but from a higher vantage point. The anxiety of Pryderi will return, but you will meet it with the wisdom of the oak. The winter of the soul will come, but you will hold the promise of the solar current within you. And now, as we close the pages of the great book for today, I invite you to find a comfortable space, a place where you can be still, a place where you can return to your trees. Close your eyes. Let your breath become slow and deep, like the tide of a calm sea. In and out. With every exhale, let go of Prider, the anxiety and cares of the day. Let them drift away like autumn leaves on a stream. Visualize yourself standing at the edge of a mist-covered field. It is twilight, that time between times. As you walk forward, the mist parts, revealing a path of green moss. You follow it, and it leads you to the edge of an ancient forest. The air here is cool, and smells of pine, rich soil, and old magic. This is your forest. These trees know your name. You walk between the sentinels of oak and ash, deeper into the wood, until you come to a clearing. In the center of this clearing stands a single magnificent tree. Its roots vanish deep into the earth. Its branches sweep high into the star-filled sky. This is the Axis Mundi, the center of your world. Approach the tree. Place your hands upon its rough bark. Feel the solid, enduring strength of it, the kalas, the form that holds you. Now visualize a current of golden light descending from the stars, flowing down through the branches, moving through the trunk, and passing through you. This is the solar current, the light of wisdom and spirit. Feel it clarifying your mind, illuminating your thoughts with the spark of Nuivra. energy rising from the deep earth, up through the roots, rising through the soles of your feet. This is the telluric current, the fire of the earth, the power of life itself. Feel these two energies, the golden light from above and the green fire from below, meet in your heart. As they mingle, they birth a radiant, silvery white light that expands outward from your chest. This is the lunar current, the light of Awen. Let this light expand until it fills the clearing. In this light, you are balanced, you are connected, you are whole. Rest here for a moment in the company of the old ones. This grove, to this tree, whenever the world grows too loud. You have the map. The path is within you. You have returned to your trees. As you gently bring your awareness back to the room, back to your body, remember the feeling of the bark beneath your hands and the light within your heart. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome home. Thank you, Seekers, for joining us on this exploration of modern Druidry. It has been a pleasure to be your guide through this fascinating system of magical practice. Until we meet again,